So here you see, or you should see, the display of a TI Inspire. I have the old Inspire. I guess the new one, or all the other ones are similar or the same. And what do you need what do you need the calculator for? I would say that if you push on the on button or click on the on button, you land in this home setting. I always use the pictures below to navigate. So the first one is the calculator. This is the one you definitely need to calculate the test statistics and so on. And maybe what else additionally, you want to solve an integral or an equation. So you go to the menu button, and the fourth analysis, you see already the integral sign. Integral, you can here, for example, I have a continuous distribution density function from 0 to 3. And the important part for all calculators is whenever you have a variable, always use the multiplication button sign. So k times my other, say, 2x as a density function, and I integrate for the variable x. And now, for example, this has to be 1 equal 1, solve it for k. I can do it in one command. I could do it in 2 steps, but I can also here go to the beginning, again, menu, and then algebra, solve is the function I want. Here, the right parenthesis is on the wrong end, so I delete it, and then it smart enough to check what I want. So here I have my function. I need an equation. This has to be x, sorry, wasn't right enough here. Now, has to equal 1, then comma. What variable do I need to solve it for? Here, the variable at the end is k. So solve it for k, enter, get the result. So that's the most probable stuff you'll need for the calculator for. Additionally, but let me give you a warning, a hint, a suggestion, or a favor. Practice all the test statistics you need to calculate by hand enough so that you know them, that you need to write them down anyway. So practice them first. And once you know them, all these test statistics, use the calculator to check if your result is okay. So you probably won't need the calculator to solve for test statistics and so on. But it's good in case you want to check or need, to be able to. So the on button, get to the home screen. And then I always use the lists and spreadsheets picture, because then you normally you have a sample given, 2 samples given, and first you need to insert your sample here. So 1, 3, 6, 7, 10, whatever. And most importantly, remember what the column is named. Here it's the name A. Then let's say I have a second one, 12, 36, 40, 50, whatever. 2 samples. My second column is named B because that's important. And now, again, the menu button gives me the options for statistics. And then you probably only will need the third and fourth, the confidence intervals or the test statistics. And here you find all the tests you need. The t-test for 1 Mittelwert, for 1 mean, for two sample t-tests. You also have the proportions test, but I'm not, in recent history, what I observed is that most programs and calculators don't use exactly the same test statistics as Luchsinger does, or we in this lecture. So be aware that for the proportions test, it can be a small difference in the test statistics. So only use it to check. Do it calculated by hand with your calculator, but then the program only use it to check if it's more or less the same. It's some decimal number difference. If maybe they fixed it or they aligned it, but if not, check it once when you have a calculator by hand. Check what the calculator program says, and just be aware it can be or probably won't be exactly the same. But nonetheless, to check if it's right, you can use it. Then you have the chi-square test for independence or Anpassungstests. Goodness of fit, or what's it called? Yeah, goodness of GUF, yes. You also have the ANOVA test, variance analysis of variance, and the linear regression. The T test by linear regression. I start with this one because with all the tests, important is you need to give them the right column name. So my first sample was column A, my second sample was column B with the parentheses, the right ones, and then, well, yeah, whatever. The results will be in some other column. If there's already data there, they will warn you that it will be overwritten, but make sure you give the right names of the columns from your data. And then here you see with the linear regression, I have the formula, meaning A is my beta null and B, beta null hat, and B is my beta 1 hat, my slope, the estimated slope. That's check it. That's important that you know which is which. And you have the test statistics, you have the p-value, you have the degrees of freedom. It's a bit quick. The degrees of freedom. You have the estimator of the y-axis, the beta null hat, the beta 1 hat. There I'm not exactly sure what the formula was behind them, but you will only need maybe the r squared or r as the correlation coefficient. These two. Nothing more. You find everything here. So let's see, what columns do I have? E and F. Okay. So let's do another one. Menu, statistics, confidence intervals. Sorry, here. And let's say for one sample T, a confidence interval for mu. And again, here you have the option data or statistics. You will almost surely only need the data, because data means you have numbers, a sample given, and you calculate by the sample. The statistics means you have the X bar, the empirical standard deviation given already. But if you already have these numbers, simply insert it in the test statistics and be done with it. So there's not really a need to use the program. So only use data. Then again, where's my sample stored? Column A. The rest you can Häufigkeitsliste, yeah, can take it as it is. The only thing you may need to change is here the confidence level. For example, let's say I had 1 minus alpha is 90%. And where does he shall give you the results? Let's say column F. And then here I have lower bound, upper bound with my confidence interval, X bar, the degrees of freedom, the empirical standard deviation. Yeah, everything I need. Yeah, well, that's more or less all you need for the Luchsinger statistics lecture. Some notes, general notes, always repeat. Luchsinger doesn't, what he says is you can't use something to communicate with others, namely no laptop, no smartphone, but any calculator is okay, because they do not communicate with other calculators. So anyone is fine. If you use another one than the T-Inspire, make a comment or write me. Most stuff is similar. It's the syntax and the analogy behind it is the same. So what's the most important thing? You will need to calculate some test statistics. So with the help of your calculator. So just simply have a calculator with a good display that allows you to insert all the numbers, have a good look at it, a good overview without any mistakes. That's the most important thing. The maybe only important thing. Solve for integrals and so is an added plus and everything else, but so anything, I guess, so T89, T-Voyage, T-Inspire, they are all perfect. They have everything you need. Below that, depends. Figure out if you can work with it, if you can insert test statistics without any problems. If so, great. If not, change it. And so T89 almost always has statistics program shown here as well. T-Voyage has it, T-Inspire has it. You probably won't need them because Luchsinger, I would assume, and his trend and the direction is, he says you don't need a calculator or a good one because he wants every statistics and so on. He gives you almost always the R outputs. So he wants you to understand and be able to use what the R outputs gives you. That's everything the calculator gives and more. So that's the way he almost surely will go. So in case, just to be on the safe side or whatever, yeah, it makes sense to be able to know how to check with the statistics program, but I assume you won't need it. Well, if I have forgotten something or questions, problems, leave a comment on the video or let me know by mail. Anyways, good luck. Give it your all and well, hopefully, I wish you luck. See you next time.